Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, so today's episode is going to be fish francaise. One of my all-time favorite flavors. Of course, we all have heard of chicken francaise and maybe some other things, veal, I don't know. But yeah, I was always a big fan of chicken francaise, and people talked about making fish fillets francaise online on Facebook and other places. So I said, hey, what a great idea. I'm crazy for francaise to begin with, so it seems like a very natural fit, right? So here we have some nice fresh sea bass fillets, and I just want to point something out. Some of these sea bass were bled. You see how beautiful snow white this fillet? And obviously this one was not bled out. It's not real bloody or anything, but it's got that pinkish hue to it. Anyway, I just like bleeding all of my fish because, again, I think that it tastes better. You get the blood out of something. That's the first thing to decompose in any living protein, so you have a longer shelf life whether you freeze it. I think it freezes better, or whether you want to keep it in the refrigerator for a couple of days and use it fresh. So that's the deal. I bleed all my fish whenever possible, which is most of the time. Here we have our flour mix, right? So we take our fillet, we're going to coat it in flour, and the flour mix is all-purpose flour, and I included some lemon pepper seasoning. You can use any. There's no particular that I could say I really recommend one over another. But yeah, so I like that. It's a lemon pepper seasoning. We've got our butter melted in the pan already, right? So we're just going to make that a little hotter. And here we have our egg wash. A little bit of herb got in there from the lemon pepper seasoning. But that's 3 eggs beaten with a little milk, like we're going to make an omelet or scrambled eggs or anything like that. Okay, so without further ado, my butter is heating up. All right, we are going to. I usually kind of like make my fish nuggets a little smaller than this. These are complete sea bass fillets, but it's okay because they're not that big, right? And to make the francaise, I just think it's a good presentation to have the whole piece going on there. So it's no big problem. If I was frying it, like, you know, just pure frying, whatever, whoa, the butter's getting too hot too quick there. Egg wash it, right? And start sizzling right away. Okay. Yep, so this is like the reverse of the way you might normally fry fish, chicken cutlet, etc., etc. Most people do the egg wash first, right? And then the coating, whatever the breading is going to be, whether it's flour or, you know, seasoned Italian breadcrumbs or panko or my nacho deal, right? The nacho, pulverized nachos, corn chips, corn starch, corn meal, corn flour medley, combo. That's so delicious. One of my favorites, but yeah, so that's another video. Right. Okay. So I've got these going on one side. Yeah, it's a little messy. It's a little messy. Keep it away from the edge of the counter. Keep it from falling on the floor. Right. Think about this stuff that we're doing here a little bit more clearly. Alright, so I'm getting my stuff coated. Alright, that pan looks comfortable with about 3 fillets at a time. I might be able to squeeze a 4th, but you want them all to cook together. Okay, so here we are, back for the second portion of fish francaise. So now we're going to make the sauce. We've got the fish done, and okay, so the sauce is got a couple cloves of crushed garlic in there, along with some melted butter. I didn't want to go crazy with the butter. I used 1/3 of a stick. I have the juice of 2 fresh squeezed lemons, and you can use a chicken broth, right? I don't have any chicken broth handy, so I just threw a cube of chicken bouillon in there, and I'm heating that up. I'm going to substitute the chicken bouillon from my chicken broth. Close enough. What else can I tell you? The white wine, very important. I didn't get the best today, but let's see, what do we got here? It's Spanish, and I can't even tell what kind of grapes this is, but the lady at the store, she recommended this for cooking as well as this one here. Oh, here's a Pinot Grigio, but I opened up this one. It's a Rueda. I'm not a wine expert, as you may be able to tell. So it's alcoholic, it's grapey, it's white wine. I hope it's good. They always say use a wine that you would drink, but I don't drink. So I used to drink, but I don't drink anymore. Anyhow, yeah, I like to use a good wine when I'm cooking. But wine doesn't seem to last very long around here for some reason. Okay, enough of that. We're just going to mix all this together in a second as the consommé over here, the chicken bouillon becomes ready. I'm just going to give that a stir. See. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. I think we can take the heat off of that. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to join our ingredients for the sauce. Ooh, that's it. Turn up the heat on that a bit, and I'm not like an exact measurements kind of person, never was. I do things kind of according to taste. Should be using a wooden spoon for that. Would you excuse me? Hi, Mom. How are you? We're on camera right now. Say hi to the folks.
Hi.
Alrighty. Let that come to a quick boil. I'm going to add my lemon and a little Wonder flour to thicken it up. Add a little body to it. So that's Wonder Quick Mixing Flour and Rich Bleached All-Purpose, right? And that's how my mom always thickens up her gravies, so I learned that from her. And you gotta stir that around. So it is important to add the butter with the garlic first to the pan. Let that garlic heat up in the butter. Let it get, I'm going to put just a little bit of good olive oil, EVOO. Extra virgin olive oil, right? So yeah, the recipes that I read for chicken francaise, chicken broth, certainly lemon, white wine, garlic, and oil, a little good olive oil. And those are the main ingredients there. Some people get crazy and add like a little bit of cream to it. People put different things in their coating. Sometimes they add a little Parmesan cheese. It is, in fact, an Italian-American recipe. And it says Francaise, you would think France, right? But it's an Italian-American recipe, so I read. And there are traditional ingredients, and then people, you know, sometimes get as crazy as they want to with it. And there it is, warming up nicely. You see it starting to boil. I put at least 2 lemons in mine, and again, it's all relevant to how much you want to make, how much protein you need the sauce to cover, etc. So it said something about making the sauce in the pan that you fry your protein in, you know, in the flour egg mixture. And what happens is when you're using the butter and oil in that pan, you know, there's a little bit of a darkening, a blackening, and the sauce doesn't come out quite pretty that way. You know, it gets dark and cloudy and not so nice. So I don't like doing it in the same pan. I like doing it in a separate pan. It's better presentation. And then, you know, this is it. This is going to be the sauce. And what's going to happen from there is a little fresh parsley garnish over the top. There's some like micro lemon seeds in there. Let's see if I can keep some of them out. Okay. that's it. Now my lemon juice is in the pan. That's the real francaise part right there. And you know what? I think I want to thicken it up just a little bit more. There we go. Gold medal, Wonder flour. Whoa. Don't get sloppy. Don't get nervous. Don't splash it around. And it smells good. Make sure the flour, you know, mixes in well, breaks up, dilutes. Okay, so there we have it. Sea bass francaise with glazed carrots and a garden tomato salad. Those were grown in my own garden. And I didn't put together any starch for this meal. I'm in a big hurry. I'm actually on my way out shortly, and I really wanted to get this this meal done. So that's it. Sea bass francaise. You got the sauce, you got the pan frying method, and sauce goes over the top. A little fresh parsley for garnish, makes it look beautiful, makes it taste great too. This is Ken. Thank you as always for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Cooking with Ken. All right. Stay well.